It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Carey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good Sunday morning to you. This is Carey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. Today I am here with Diana Field, and she is the Director of Communication at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning.
So we're going to be talking about all the great things that you could be doing with the public library. People just think that there's just books there, but you guys have got so much going on. Let's talk about your summer reading challenge.
Well, every summer the library offers an activity called Summerfest, and it includes the different elements that will engage the reader, the non-reader, people that are just looking for a good community experience, a family experience, or personal improvement. Of course, the library wants all of us to keep reading. There are benefits to reading. Your children are going to do better in school. They're going to be smarter. They're going to have a bigger vocabulary, which is a key indicator in their success in life. And, of course, the best way to raise a child to be a reader is for their parents and their grandparents and their peer group to be readers. So every summer we set up a program that makes it easy for families to participate and to read, and we call it our Summer Reading Challenge. And it is based on the same system that the schools districts use in encouraging the children to read 20 minutes a day. We don't care what you read. It could be the newspaper. It could be your cereal box. It could be the Harry Potter or the greatest of Goosebumps. Just reading something. 20 minutes a day. Think about how long 20 minutes takes. You know, by the time you brush your teeth, comb your hair, get dressed, and hop in the car, you've got 20 minutes. In that 20 minutes, you can grab a book, you can pick up your smartphone and read, from our digital library that way. And that 20 minutes a day, if you do it that way, by the end of July, you'll have 1,200 minutes read. And that's the key number for children that they need to be able to start school in the fall and not be behind, and hopefully maybe be a little bit ahead. And we have been working with the school districts for several years now, and the school districts do report back to us on the key indicators with the children that do participate in the Summer Reading Challenge versus those that don't.
You guys have also got a new campaign that's called Two Books Topeka.
Well, it isn't just about kids. We have had for the past 12 years a very successful community read program called The Big Read. But one of the complaints that we always had about this is where everyone comes together and reads the same book, and then we have book discussions and we have different events that are related to the topic of the book. The last one we did was True Grit, and it was very popular. We had some events down at TPAC, and we actually had a former star from the radio station here, Rusty Walker, who did a shooting demonstration for us. She had some grit, or still does.
She's got a lot of grit.
She does. And but they always said, when are you going to do the next one, or what's the next book? And we only did that every other year. So a group at the library sat down and they devised a plan called Two Book Topeka, in that we would offer it 3 times a year, and that we would give people a choice, because not always were people a fan of the book that the National Endowment for the Arts chose, because we had to choose just from their list. And we thought this would give us an opportunity to choose something that was maybe more contemporary and of interest to our community. So the launch of Two Book Topeka starts tomorrow, and we are encouraging everyone to read, check out, and talk about The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, which is by Rebecca Skloot. You might also know because it was a new movie that Oprah Winfrey actually starred as the character's daughter, Henrietta Lacks's daughter in that. And it's a nonfiction book. And I like to read nonfiction, but a lot of people don't. But this nonfiction book really does read like a novel. And so it's a fascinating story of how the HeLa cells were discovered that actually went on to cure all sorts of diseases like polio. But if that's a little too serious for you, we also are going to offer the sci-fi The House of the Scorpion. And it's a young adult book, which is also very popular for people of any age to read, and it's about cloning. So this two-book Topeka is all about what makes us live, and it's your DNA. So that starts, we have 300 copies of the book available for checkout. We have book bags for book discussion groups. I'm going to be at the farmers market, downtown farmers market, and we'll be giving some book aways. Just look for it in the community that will be out there, and you might win a copy of one of the books.
So you were talking before we came on the air about encouraging businesses to get their employees involved and their children and ways to actually include the community.
It really is. And this is what we have found through the Big Read, is that employers have found it's a great company benefit. The book discussions, it isn't just for business, but it is for personal enjoyment. When you go to chamber functions, we'll be talking about that. They're either telling me about their favorite book that they're reading, or they're apologizing for not reading. And no one really needs to apologize for not reading, because we all know that we have busy lives. But I would encourage people that are missing that experience in their life to look at different avenues of how they can enjoy literature without sitting down with a book. The digital resources that we have are wonderful, and where you don't even have to go anywhere. You are carrying your library in your device. You can download not only a print copy of a book, but you can download the audio version of it, or you can download the movie version of it. But it's just having that experience, that whole formation of how you tell a story. And I think that also helps us in our daily conversations, that the memes usually come from a book.
Absolutely. I know myself and April were constantly sharing books back and forth. April is actually here with us on different ways to grow the business and things that we need to know. So we're always diving into books. We call ourselves the nerds. Just constantly learning and trying to grow things and to understand them better. So I would wonder how many hours we actually read a week. It's probably something crazy.
Oh, I know. When you're in marketing and communications, we're constantly learning. I'm one of those people that graduated in another century, and I think from the day I graduated, not even talking about my educational thing, I've had to learn to keep up with my industry, to keep up with the technology with it. I know that when I talk with some of my younger coworkers, and I say, when I graduated from Kansas State, they had just installed the first 8088 computer in the collegiate newsroom, and it took up a whole wall, the server did. It was amazing. So I've seen a lot of changes in technology and how you communicate. And, of course, now there are so many avenues. Before, when you first got out, there was television, there was radio, and that was just about it, and newspapers. And now there's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and Oh, my goodness sakes. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's always constant information overload.
It is.
So let's talk about, it's called Build a Better World, 16th Annual Art Exhibit, if I can spit that out, for children. So,
well, once again, part of our Summerfest activities. When the new library opened 16 years ago, we have a formal art gallery named after Alice C. Sabatini. She was an artist in our community, and she was deeply involved and interested in art education for children. And the Sabatini family were very interested in that we always have an art exhibit for children. So we have done that every year. And the theme that we're doing summer reading this year, or summer learning this year, is Build a Better World. And so when you go into the gallery, you aren't going to see just paintings on the wall or sculptures or anything. We actually have 5 different environs, all based on STEAM learning. So there's activities. You're going to be able to build a garden. They're going to grow a garden. You can sign up to be a gardener in the gallery. You're going to build houses, both physical as well as virtual, because we also have a Minecraft station in there. No killing allowed. And we also have the interactive playground where you can figure out how to exist in these environments. We've got a rock wall you can climb in there, and different things where you have to have a partner to be able to achieve your challenges. So every week the exhibit will change depending on what our artists, which are all of the kids that are coming in there, will be building that week or growing that week.
That sounds so awesome. And that exhibit takes place June 3rd through July 30th, is that correct?
Yes, it opened this weekend, and it'll be going on through the end of July, and this truly will be something that your kids will have an experience that isn't available anyplace else in our community.
Let's talk about 8 Blockbuster Wednesdays. What is that?
Oh, my goodness sakes. Well, summer's about fun. And, the kids, about midweek, they kind of need something to do. So we have scheduled 8 Blockbuster performers that will come in and entertain your kids for a solid 45 minutes. It's everything from the vaudeville shows back to science discovery or nature discovery on that. This year is really interesting because we have all new performers on Wednesdays. A lot of times you would be used to seeing the world champion Yo-Yo King or Mr. Stinky Feet, but they're not coming this year. We have Indiana Bones and Peanut Butter Hamsters and Aaron Fowler. We're going to have the Washburn Opera Studio. The one thing, too, is, all of the fireworks don't go out on the 4th of July. We are going to have the library's Super Carnival with the carnival game people coming in on the 5th. So, you don't have to go away. We offer those 3 times a day because those are really big. We have about 1,500 people that attend those 3 performances during the day. And so you don't have 9 o'clock, 10:30 in the mornings, and then at 6:30 in the evening. I will tell you that the evenings are the smaller shows. There's only about 250 to 300 people at those. But it's a wonderful opportunity, especially for, I would say, your 3-year-old to your 12-year-old. But quite honestly, it's a family event. So even the teenagers, well, they say, oh, that's for little kids, but they do peek in and they do stay. So every Wednesday, 3 times a day, you can have that over-the-top experience that will once again keep your kids entertained.
And you have Friday Flicks. What is that?
Well, a lot of the kids, that community experience of being able to watch a movie together. Friday afternoons, they're kind of tired. They're waiting for the weekends, mom and dad. It's a good time to bring them in. They're all family-friendly movies. They're all G-rated, and they can come in there. But there is something about watching those 12 and unders watch a movie together, and just the experience of laughing, and it's a little less formal than the movie theaters, so that they can be kids.
So they don't get in trouble whenever they're
They
wanting to run around.
they do not. They do not.
Awesome. So you also brought with you a flyer, basically a booklet that talks about all the things that you guys are going to be doing this summer.
Well, this is library news, which
Okay.
this is sent to every household in Shawnee County. So you should have received that at home. If not, I probably need to check your address, or you need to check with your postmaster and find out why you're not receiving it. But, the library is a tax-based organization, and we need you to know what is going on at the library. And so we started this about 5 years ago, mailing this out to the households. We started out just sending it to library card people who had library cards, and I thought, well, that's really kind of silly because it belongs to the community. So this will not only tell you about the events going on, but it will also be a discovery tool for you, just saying, I didn't know the library did that. Before I started working there were so many things that I wasn't aware that your library had to offer. So we have some other new programs that are coming on right now. On the first page, you'll see our Learn and Play bus, which is actually our mobile early childhood vehicle. It's like a preschool on wheels for the birth to 5 years of age, and it travels to different locations each week, providing services for those who maybe don't have time to come down to the library, or they don't have transportation, or maybe they're at a babysitter's. So once again, we're trying to give all the skills that your child will be ready for school. The other thing that we launched last month was the return of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which is a program that is managed by the Dollywood Foundation in Tennessee, with Dolly Parton as the patron of that. It provides a free book mailed to the child ages birth to 5 every month, for a total of 60 books if they start when they're born. Because one of the things of raising that reader is having access to books, and there's no better way than to make sure that it goes directly to the child. So the book is mailed to the child, and they get to look forward of knowing that about the same time every month that they're going to get a new book.
That is so cool. And it also gives you how to find out more information about that, which...
Yes.
Would you like to tell us about that?
Well, everything that's in the newspaper can also be found on what we refer to as our digital branch library, and that's our website, which is the acronym for Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library, TSCPL.org. And for Dolly Parton, just put in a slash and say imagination. But once you get to TSCPL.org, you can also just go in the search bar and put in Dolly Parton, and it will come up. We can also help you. Our catalog, of course, has been online for years, but last year we did enhancements to the catalog, and what's really nice is that you'll see a preview, kind of Amazon-like preview of what are new or what the staff has picked out. And at the bottom, they have just hundreds of lists of books that people recommend. And I don't know about you, but the hardest thing that I have is trying to figure out what to read, because there are so many things out there. And I don't particularly have a type of book or an author that I follow, so I'm just looking for that next best read on that. So the book lists in the catalog are very helpful, because you go, that sounds all right.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
So let's talk more about the reading program that you guys have for this summer. How do they get involved?
Well, there's two different ways. The thing that we want you to do is not only read the 20 minutes a day, but you need to track what you're reading, so we can actually take those statistics and work with the school district on that. There's two ways to sign up for it. One is to go to tscpl.org/summerfest, or you can go to a bookmobile, or you can come into the library, you can go into the community center and pick up a paper tracker. We did deliver to all of the schools, both elementary and high school, paper trackers in May. So you might look at the book bag and see if it's still stuffed down in there. It's kind of on heavier paper, so you should be able to find it. It says "Build a Better World" on it. And just simply keep track. If you do it on paper, you can bring it in and turn it in, and one of the librarians will, or one of our volunteers will enter that information. But you can do it online, and it's kind of fun to do it online because there's badges. It's like a computer game that you can win while you're on there, and you'll also see different reading recommendations. At the halfway point, 600 minutes, the kids, teens, and adults, or kids and teens, will receive a book of their choice. And then when they complete the program, which will be 1,200 minutes, they get another book of their choice. Their name goes into a grand prize drawing where 4 people in each age division will receive a gift certificate to spend in the Chandler Boutique used book and gift shop. So it's all there under one roof. There are also prizes for from Applebee's, Hazel Hill chocolates, and for Gage Bowling.
Yeah, who doesn't love chocolate?
Yeah. Oh, Hazel Hill is wonderful. We have such wonderful businesses here in the community that they support what they're passionate about, and those 3 entities have been very strong in supporting the summer learning program. So that's what makes it fun. The infant program's a little different than the other ones because we have a program just for babies, because that's when that brain development really is important and the reading is imperative. So they have different activities that you can do with your baby, and there are different prizes that go along with that that are more age appropriate.
Awesome.
So the other thing, too, don't forget that you don't have to read the physical book. I am a big fan of the downloadable content. I commute about 40 minutes a day, and I listen to audiobooks. I love Flipster, which is our magazine subscription service where you have a choice of, I think, nearly 400 magazines. I'm one of those people that I probably had 25 magazine subscriptions, but not since Flipster. I mean, you can get everything from Star Magazine to, those educational journals that we all should read. But you can go on there. Some of them do have time restrictions, by a few days or a week, but some of them have no restrictions at all. And you can go back and get back copies of them, too. Hoopla is another one of our collection items. And Hoopla is cool because it has ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, comic books, movies, TV shows. And all you need is your library card to access all of that. Download it to your device, and you're ready to go.
And that would be great for kids whenever they're traveling.
Oh, definitely. My favorite story is that I used to be a youth director, and I took a group of teens to Amarillo for a leadership conference. And I decided I didn't want them on their phone the whole time, so we brought the audiobook of the Count of Monte Cristo. And, they were grumbling, and they were, this is going to be terrible. I had trouble on bathroom breaks because they didn't want to stop the story. And when we were coming back from Amarillo, one of the young men had to get out at Dodge City, and he said, "But it's not over. How am I going to know how it ends?" And I said, "Dodge City has a public library. You can go check out the book." It's that experience, that shared experience, that it may not be the first choice, but after it becomes a habit, it is a choice that people enjoy, either by themselves or together. I know I also listen to a book instead of music when I exercise.
There you go. Let's talk about the Adventure Mobile. You guys have a different animal on the Adventure Mobile?
The Adventure Mobile, who has been tooling around Topeka for almost 30 years, the original one was laid to rest earlier this year. It was shaken off the frame. So our former Lingo bookmobile is serving as this year's Adventure Mobile. And yes, we have the Critter Club. And every week you will find and be able to handle and pet a different critter. We also have a Critter Club card, which you can go, and when you get your card punched, you will also receive prizes at all of this. But get ready to meet Hermes the pug, crawdads, kittens, Tuck the turtle, a baby goat, hermit crabs, Sheba the snake, worms, and composting. And a tarantula. Okay, so you've got me up until the very end.
I don't know. The snake would probably, Sheba might scare me a bit, too.
Well, Sheba is we used to have a ball python, Miss Lucy. But Lucy and her owner, Deb, retired. And so Sheba is new. And the wonderful thing about Adventure Mobile, just like the bookmobiles, you don't have to come to the library. The bookmobiles have 20 stops all over the community. The bookmobile has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different stops around the community this summer. Once again, the way to find those is to go to TSCPL.org or use your library newspaper. And just type in bookmobile, and you'll see the schedules for both that and the Adventure Mobile.
Well, I want to thank you, Diana, for coming in. You've done a great job telling us about all the great things that you could be doing with the library. Again, you don't have to actually go in if you don't want to. Of course, they would love for you to. And there's so many school activity or children's activities to be doing. The reading is not just for students. It is for adults also. So be sure and check that out. Give us one more time the website.
TSCPL.org.
And thank you again for listening. This is Carey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you've been listening to Real Estate 101. Should you be looking to buy or sell a house, please give us a call at 785-213-5188. You can also visit our website and find homes anywhere from Missouri all the way over to Junction City, as far south as around the Emporia area, and as far north as Netawaka, by looking at our website at TopekaHomeAdvisors.com.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Carey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors. Tune in again next Sunday at 11 o'clock for Real Estate 101.